Hello and welcome back to the Self Rugby Podcast. I'm pleased to announce got two usuals in the studio, Zachary and Harvey. How are you boys? Good to have you. And I'm pleased to announce this is the special of all specials. This is us reacting to our Lions squads that we made back in July. I think it was the end of July. So if you are there looking at your tree on Christmas and you want a lovely present, a nice little listen, grab a mince pie, grab a hot chalk,
Oh,
sit
that's
down and listen to us debate over the Lions because everyone loves Lions chats, whether you're Welsh, Scottish, English, you'll always be back in your nation. The debates are always the best because of how high the competition is, and I'm excited for this, boys. I really
it's
am.
it's the pinnacle of rugby. Isn't it? It's the
Yeah.
pinnacle for any true rugby fan. You always get the Six Nations part timers who are always tweeting, but come on, you boys are green. He's just like, shut up, love. This is real. This is pinnacle rugby stuff here.
And this pod's going to draw two things together: the magic of the Lions tour and
Mm,
taking the mick out of people's choices with the beautiful world of hindsight.
yes,
So,
exactly.
hey,
You're saying, yeah. I'm excited. Like, tell if you were saying we're just going to read each other's squads and then just kind of have a bit of chat.
Bit of chat, and
Bit of
I'll
ripping,
give you the
ripping to shreds.
opportunity after this to
Defend yourself.
defend whatever point you have, and then you can edit your squads ahead of. And then we're going to do this again after the Six Nations, because after Six Nations, that's it. That's kind of the last. Well, European Cup finals are always the last. Always remember Paul Collin 2013 had to have a big performance. Had it down in I think it was Toulon in a big European Cup quarterfinal. Had a big performance, got himself on the plane. But the Six Nations is going to be kind of the final time to put yourself in the mix. So we'll do it again then. But for now, we'll start. We'll start with your squad, Zach. All right, here we go. So, Zach, you went for Cian Healy, Rory Sutherland, Mako Vunipola, Jimmy George, Ken Owens, Luke Cowan-Dickey, Ty Furlong, Kyle Sinclair, Xander Fagerson. So those are your front rowers. We'll start with that. I look at that now, and the only name that's jumping out at me is Luke Cowan-Dickey, who I don't think has played enough internationally to put himself in the mix because George has played nearly 80 minutes a lot of the time.
yeah.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Like I love Luke Cowan-Dickey. The extra bias will always be there and forever be there. I love you, Rob Baxter. But to be honest, yeah, like I think Luke Cowan-Dickey might not make it. I'll tell you one thing though. You see, if he has an unreal Six Nations and Ireland do well, I'm sticking Rob Herring. I'm not going to say it. I'm just going to say it. Rob Herring, if he has a great Six Nations, has a great time at Ulster. See if Ulster get like quarter semis of the European Cup. I'm telling you, he's on the plane. He's solid.
The beauty of it all. Like,
There's definitely a spot for him.
Solid.
There's
Even
definitely a
not,
spot for
would
him.
you put him in now, Zach?
I wouldn't put him in now because I don't think he's completely proven himself yet. But at the same time, he's well on his way. If he continues to progress, he's well on his way to making himself in the team, I think.
Another one is Ken Owens. I haven't seen much of recently.
I think he's injured.
I think he's injured. Do you feel he'll come back strong? He's still back in that?
Yeah, he's doing the laps of the BBC. I don't know. It's probably another one. I don't know. Yeah, well, I back him. I quite like him, and he's Welsh. You know what I mean? That's already 12 points to him. Don't know what the
Cian
point system
Healy?
is.
Cian Healy definitely is a must now. I think he's put himself. He's
definitely going.
He's scored a few as well. He's nearly.
Yeah,
He'll be pushing for a starting spot the way he's going. Rory Sutherland's got a bit quiet, but still, the hype remains around him.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm not. That's not nothing to laugh about there, Zach. And then on to second rows: Maro Toji, James Ryan, Alwyn Jones, Johnny Gray, Ian Henderson.
Yep, I'm sticking with that. I'm sticking with that. Let's just tick box, move on. I personally, if you want to have a go at me for that selection, then clearly you've not been watching the Autumn Nations Cup.
Hendo's a bit biased, maybe.
I don't know what you're talking about. Look, Hendo is gonna have the game of his life. I don't know soon.
Harvey, non-Ulster head on. Is Hendo top
no,
5 second rows? Joe Launchbury.
Yeah, I
To be
was
fair-
honestly, he's the one. I know we'll get onto it in a second, but I believe me and yourself, Toph, both have Courtney Laws in there at the moment.
He's back for Northampton. He was back for
Yeah.
Northampton, I believe.
You could
and
argue
then got
that
Scrum.
potentially the legs are just a bit too old on him now. But then Alwyn Jones is in there, so that defies all logic, doesn't it? But yeah, Joe Launchbury for sure. I think he's had some quality performances for England recently. And he's just always in around there, isn't he? He's reliable. He's good old reliable. A phrase we love to use on this pod is he's a James Milner.
He is.
James Milner.
James
And he's
Milner.
quality on a line out as well, which is a good
Yeah,
thing.
he is.
If
He's
anyone's
the
playing
leader,
the tough rugby bingo, then score out James Milner because we've mentioned it.
isn't he? Yeah. Jurgen Klopp will come up soon, sure.
Anyway, on to back rows, and this is where the 2-minute debates turn into 5 or 10. It's an interesting one. Tom Curry, Jimmy Ritchie, Sam Underhill, Hamish Watson, Justin Tipuric, CJ Stander, Billy Vunipola, Toby Faletau.
I personally don't see. Well, I would. I don't know if Justin Tipuric should be in there. I think. I don't know. What do you guys think about it? Personally, I think Jamie Ritchie and Hamish Watson are absolute ballers, and they go.
I don't know. I think Keelan Doris is ahead of a
Really?
Ritchie, a Watson, and a CJ. Maybe even. Maybe not anyone else.
Richie obviously didn't have a great game against Ireland recently, but I think Richie, if you look at it from when we originally created the predictions, has had a really good season so far. I think Richie's still up there. He might have had a little blip recently, but I would still leave Richie in there.
I think because Jamie Ritchie and Hamish Watson were both kind of like not wild cards, but Virgin on wild card more towards kind of certain starters. When we discussed this in July, and like you said, Harvey, I really think just for the performances they put in generally for Scotland in the Nations Cup have been fantastic. In the same way, you go back to the front row, Roy Sutherland, Xander Fagerson, like those boys have put in a shift. Yeah, they had one bad game, but yeah, I'm probably sticking with that. I would maybe question Justin Tipuric and maybe add like a Ben Earl or something, because even though like he's on the bench at the moment, he's just
really
that
good shot, especially
I
in a
think-
year's time. Where's he? Or
Yes.
I just think I look at that as well. I look at that as well and think I totally agree with you, Tuff. I think Caelan Doris is going to go in there, but the main reason why I think Caelan Doris is going to go is because I can 100% guarantee you right now, either CJ, Billy Vunipola, or Toby Faletau are getting injured. One of them's injured.
That's so true.
And then he's going. But like, I'm not saying he's just going based on the fact that obviously, like by default almost, but he will go because he just seems to be fit quite a lot of the time, whereas these boys are slowly turning into glass legs and stuff. So
I don't know if I've seen enough from Watson recently. Richie's gone ahead of Watson, definitely in the pecking orders.
I agree with you on that side.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, like for me, Ben Earl probably gets in there, maybe at the expense of.
Ben Earl's going on Lions tour.
He is. I'm telling you, Bristol are gonna have a big year too.
Imagine he
No,
breaks
it's-
onto the. He
What
breaks
about
onto
Jack
the.
Willis? Jack Willis?
Jack, no, that's
Nah, not
Sam
yet.
Simmons?
Not yet. Not yet.
Sam Simmons?
See, my thing is Sam Simmons. I just don't. It depends. It depends who gets injured out of Vunipola and Faletau. To be honest, if they both get injured or one of them gets injured, maybe there's room for Sam Simmons in terms of a big ball carrying number 8. But
Is Hamish injured at the moment, or is he?
no, I think Ben was he? I'm pretty sure
He wasn't. I don't think he was against Ireland.
Oh.
Just having a little look now.
I don't know. I just feel like both the centers and they both. I think I'm personally still quite happy with my back row selection. Maybe the odd change, but I'm pretty happy.
And then on to scrum halves. Ali Price, John Cooney, Thomas Williams.
Yes, John Cooney. I'm telling you, John Cooney is going on the plane. It started as a joke. But now I genuinely think he's gonna go.
God, he's still gonna get on that green jersey, let alone the red one.
Look, I'm telling you.
No, the
Gibson
thing
Park
is,
could
do you
one.
have to do, because Gatlin's picking a team, not Andy
Yeah.
Farrell, not Eddie Jones. So if Gatlin wants a Sam Simmons, if he wants a John Cooney,
He could, yeah.
We could
He
see
could-
it. We could see a Lions debutant before in England or an Ireland debutant.
Yeah,
Not
could.
that obviously Junior Junkin used to had caps, but
Name
could
someone that's
see
done
it.
it. Name someone that's played for the Lions before they played for their country.
James
Eagle Monia,
Ryan.
no.
I don't know. Too young for James Ryan.
Eagle Monia, no, maybe.
Christian Wade.
Mm.
Of course. That's a shout. Shout at
Interesting.
Christian Wade. Man, he used to brighten up my Saturdays with his unbelievable steps. I miss him. Ali Price. All right. Ali Price seems to have really cemented the Scottish jersey.
Yeah.
John Cooney, 100%. No questions asked there. Thomas Williams. Okay. As much as this breaks my heart, but Harvey, I'm gonna make you happy. I think Ben Young's goes. I don't know what it is about Ben Young. We don't get on, but he's just playing really well at the moment. You know, he's playing really well. So at the moment, Ben Young's goes and Thomas Williams doesn't. I think just off the back of the Autumn Nations Cup, he's just been so good.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I
Obviously, I'm
think
going to agree
I think
with you.
there's a few others. We'll get onto them later, but I think Reece Webb is slowly making his way back into that
He
Welsh
is,
Nine
yeah,
shirt,
yeah.
and I think he could definitely go if he gets up there. And Gareth Davis got something to say about it. So no Conor Murray still.
Conor Murray.
No, I'm sorry.
Well,
No.
we'll get on to each other's personally. So Zach, you personally still no Conor Murray.
No.
Okay. Out halves, you've gone George Ford, Joey Carberry, and Dan Bigger.
I was gonna sometimes it takes a lot for a man just to admit his faults. I got it wrong, got it wrong. Joey Carberry, I was gonna be lucky if he plays for Munster again at this rate. Yes, Joey Carberry out. Nothing more you need to say there. Joey Carberry out and Finn Russell in.
He's done it.
I know. I remember going going back to the pods in July.
I'd love just to get a wee clip of you saying Russell 100% is not going.
I did say it. I'm pretty sure I did.
Was it his
I
European?
hopped on the bandwagon as well. I'll be honest.
Was it his European run? With
Yeah.
Racing?
It was a combination of everything. Like I think he's
hardly played
lot.
for Scotland, so it's got to be his European run.
Yeah, but even he was so good for Racing. And for me, it's not the fact that he's been so good on the field. It's the fact that I think there's a genuine change off it. And we're all about second chances on the pod. So for me, Finn Russell goes probably the informed 10 at the moment. For me, there's still questions over his decision making. Even when we chatted, especially post European Cup final pod, some of his decision making was just out of whack. Like, what was he doing? So there's still questions over that, but I think at the moment he gets the nod.
And Dan Bigger?
Yeah. You know what? He's Welsh. You're already 1 foot on the plane. No matter who you are. I think, for me, because I'm going for Farrell in the centre, obviously that kind of changes things. But for me, I just don't think maybe Johnny Sexton. If he has an unbelievable Six Nations, who knows. But at the moment,
I think Sexton's had a bigger ATM.
Yeah, you're probably not wrong. Yeah.
You can be anti-Sexton all you want, but he's playing some good rugby.
He's still cracking, and we love it, So, yeah, I'll probably put Sexton ahead of Bigger, actually. You changed my mind, Telfie, you're right.
There's some players that will just find a way.
Yeah, it's true.
And he is one of them.
Centres, Bundiaki, Farrell, Tuolangi, Johnny Davis, Guy Ringrose, Henry Slade. It's amazing when you get a wee injury, you just get completely forgotten about.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's Tuolangi and Ringrose, who we were like, who's going to start out of the two of them?
Yeah.
And now they're both injured and other people are coming
How
up.
bad is Gary Ringrose's injury? Is it bad?
I think it's not bad. I think he might not be back for the European games, but he'll be back for the Six Nations well.
I'm sticking with Gary. I'm sticking with Gaz. Yeah, Jonathan Davis is always going to go. Manny Tuolangi, if he's fit, I think Bundiaki genuinely goes. I think Gats really likes him. He's played some good rugby, Autumn Nations Cup. Personally, I think that centres, maybe with the exception of Tuolangi.
But will Tuolangi will be fit by then, will he?
Yeah,
So-
if he's fit, he'll go. You know, Gats loves him. He's already been on.
I think the way we left the conversation last time was we're not sure on Tuolangi's fitness, but if he can walk and he can run, he will be in the squad.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty much the way it will be because
Yeah.
ultimately he's probably the best player there on his day. So, yeah. Leave it on that one for Manu Tuolangi.
Back three, Johnny May. He's just gone from strength to strength, hasn't he? That try against Ireland has just put him signed and sealed.
Yeah.
Anthony Watson, Elliot Daly, Josh Adams, Jacob Stockdale, Liam Williams, Stuart Hogg. Few are a bit quieter than they probably should be. Like
Yep,
Liam
fair.
Williams and Josh Adams have been quiet. But
I'll be honest with you, Telf. I'm going to take out Josh Adams. He's been too quiet for me.
Yeah.
William Williams has been quiet, but he's just a baller. I'm probably, I feel like Van der Merwe has to go. Like we've been saying it, he has to start. So for me, Josh Adams is out and Van der Merwe is in.
form, man.
It's just,
I agree with your point there in terms of form is different than class. I think Liam Williams has class. I think Josh Adams is just in a really good vein of form.
Yeah.
And
Van der Merwe for me has to go. You know, there's questions even. I suppose there'll be questions over Stockdale and stuff like that. But you know, my Ulster bias will always make my decisions for me.
can play 15 now since the last chat. He's an established 15 as well as a winger, which helps.
Stockdale,
helps.
yeah, you know, he'll probably be a good, you know, midweek player. He'll probably play the Sharks or something. But yeah, personally, you know what? I thought it was going to be worse than what it actually was. It's actually not that bad.
So you're taking just Josh Adams out, any other winger? James Lowe.
Nah, he's good. Like, but I just James Lowe maybe instead of Stockdale. But then again, Stockdale does have that versatility.
Yeah, and James Lowe hasn't proven it yet, which is not how I thought it would go for James Lowe.
I'm willing to change, you know, come after the Six Nations.
I think James Lowe will have a defining moment in the Six Nations. I'm not saying it's a defining moment that's going to send him on the Lions tour. In fact, I think it's probably might be the other way around. But
right.
Yeah, well, I've never really massively. I've said that before that I don't particularly back James Lowe. I think he's an outstanding player for Leinster, but I just don't know. I haven't quite seen it yet. I still don't think he's good enough on it. Not good enough. I just don't think he's molded to an international level. But hey, that statement might age horribly, and I'm willing to put my neck on the line.
There's a thing just called Super Rugby players, where they're just Super Rugby players. They're just flashy, really good, but they're Super Rugby. Like that's where they belong, is playing in Super Rugby and just lighting it up. It's different, especially on Lions tours where it's very system based.
No one makes mistakes at an international level. Like he doesn't have those weak young wingers and fullbacks that he's just running at. He's playing against international players week in, week out when he's in an Ireland jersey. But yeah.
So we'll move on to you, Harvey.
Here we go.
Right. You went Mako, Sutherland, Joe Mahler was an interesting one. Jimmy George, Ronan Kelleher, ambitious. Coin Dickey, Sinclair.
I thought it was bad.
Furlong and Xander Ferguson. So I guess we'll start with Joe Mahler.
Yeah. What do you want me to say about him?
You still backing that?
No, I'm not. Joe Mahler's in there mainly for his scrummaging ability. And I'm pretty sure I mentioned, if I didn't, I was thinking it about the level of scrummaging that South Africa have got. And we know that like their scrum is their key thing. And I feel like that's something that he has. And that's something that's a bit of a niche to Joe Mahler. But whether it would actually come into fruition and whether he would properly make an impact, I think he would. I just feel like there's been a few things that have happened since then. And he just hasn't really been involved that much for England since. And we haven't really seen him in as much of a spotlight as I would have liked to have seen him in. In terms of replacements for him, you've got
Cian Healy?
I was going to say, did I even put Cian Healy in there? I'm pretty sure Cian Healy would go. If
He's
not,
going, like he's going.
I know I've got a real soft spot.
He scores every game. Like
Nah, Cian Healy would go there, but there's a part of me that just really wants to see Baby Rhino, and I don't know why. I just love Ellis Genge. I love him.
it's not
Honestly.
out there. It's not too audacious at all.
But yeah, I'm gonna go safe. Cian Healy. Cian Healy, swap him out.
Like Zach, Luke Coyne, Dickey, Kelleher.
Get Kelleher out of there. Get him out. Get him out. Just get him out.
And then in Rob
Herring,
Herring.
man, he's going. Rob Herring is going. I'm telling you.
Or are you thinking elsewhere?
I was gonna say Stuart McAnally, but like he didn't even can't just base it on most recent games, but like he didn't even start against Ireland on the weekend.
No, he's been in and out the Scotland side.
Yeah. I would either say Ken Owens or Rob Herring. If Rob Herring can really solidify that position across Six Nations, it honestly could be Rob Herring. And that is interesting to say, but I don't think it's
I don't know why people disrespect him. He's South African as well, so remember that. It's an interesting one to throw in there.
Aye.
Does that play
I'd
a
say-
factor? I know he brought Ben Teo down to New Zealand basically because he hates New Zealand.
Yeah, I mean,
It might do. It might do.
Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe.
We shall see. We shall see.
And then your second rows, Maro Toji, James Ryan, Alwyn Jones, tick, 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 Johnny Gray.
Tick.
Yeah.
Now he's becoming a tick, but we said at the time if he has a big season with Exeter and he just went and won the double.
I mean, it doesn't get bigger than that.
Yeah, Johnny
Um,
Gray. Johnny
Courtney
Gray is
Laws.
up there. It's a shame that Maritoshi and James Ryan are just so good because Johnny Gray would honestly I wouldn't even be surprised if he does start. He's that good.
Yeah, and like
He's honestly that good.
he is integral to that Exeter side. See, in terms of line out and stuff.
Yeah. Courtney Laws,
he
I
took
would.
them to the next level. He took Exeter to winners.
He
Him
did.
and Hogg.
He did.
Courtney Laws, as I previously mentioned, I would change for either Joe Launchbury or Ian Henderson.
Yeah, Joe
Personally.
Launchbury is.
But I think I would change it to Joe Launchbury
Yeah, fair.
personally. As
And
it stands at
then
the moment.
On to back rows. I think you agreed the same as Zach. No,
Yeah.
Yeah,
different.
the
Kerry,
same,
Ritchie,
nice.
Underhill, Watson. I think we all went for that group of back rowers. We all kind of decided on it together.
But Harvey,
Yeah.
you love Ben Earl.
I love Ben Earl. I honestly love him.
Does
You
he
didn't know too
go,
much
though?
about him. I had to kind of educate you on him, and ever since I did, you've just
Yeah,
You
well, he
want him?
kind of just came out of nowhere, and he's been like the super sub king for England as he's come on a couple of times. I don't know. I'm just looking at that back row set there, and I know a lot of the time we spoke about it at the start was about like the system and then looking at it as the team, not just individuals. You know, the whole relationship between a 6, 7, and an 8. Where he lies in that is, you know, and obviously a ball carrier, you need a jackler, you need the whole shebang. He's obviously a jackler, but he can carry. He's just a little he's a little terrier, isn't he? I'm just hyping up Ben Earl now. But
again. Are you putting in Doris?
like I said before, I think Caden Doris will go. If anything, I would take out CJ Sander and put in Caden Doris.
Oof, big
Personally.
moment.
Right.
Because I feel
now,
like, but then again, we're I'm basing my interpretation on Falatau mainly on the game that happened most recently. Apart from that, like I know most
so
of it's
I
due
mean,
to injury.
That's Lions. You just got
Yeah.
to peak, and he is starting to peak.
And if he peaks now through the Six Nations, he's he's ticked. Green box gone.
This is what the great players do, though. They peak at the right times, and
Yeah.
Falatau is doing it.
So I think Falatau goes, and I think I swap CJ for Caelan Doris, and I feel like I'm sorry, Ben, but at the moment, no, screw that. Hamish Watson, get out, mate, get out.
Aye.
Ben Earl. Honestly,
Aye.
Hamish Watson was quality. He
Aye.
had a few good cameos, but I just haven't seen the consistency of him where I feel like he's going to carry it on.
To
for the
me,
next
it's
6
now one
months.
thing can carry you for a long time. That
That honestly, the
run
cameo when he
against
came on,
Wales.
and he just like bounced 3 guys and just constantly made yards every time he picked the ball up.
These scrum halves, like Thomas Williams, when we announced this, was so good.
He was.
I
It was
know.
Wales
I know.
9 for the slam.
we didn't even consider Gareth Davis because of Thomas Williams, which is just ridiculous.
Yeah. You should probably read out the scrum half stills.
Thomas Williams, Ben Youngs, Conor Murray.
Conor Murray and Ben Youngs, I still agree with. I'll be honest.
Fair. Sold.
Thomas Williams, I'm honestly going to change for Ali Price.
Hey, shout.
Good old Ali Price. I feel like, let's be honest, I feel like the main team is going to be dominated by Ben Youngs and Conor Murray anyway. So, but it's nice
if
to
it's
just
a
have.
toss-up, take a Scottish player.
Yeah,
You'll play the
take-
Stormers midweek. You know?
Honestly, take Ali Price, energy, charisma. He's just a bit out there, isn't he? The little chip and chase runs and little snipes he loves to do. Why not? Get him in there.
He's quality player. Like he is quality player.
Honestly, get him through.
Then you had Gareth Anscombe. Let me just repeat that. Gareth Anscombe. For any
Look,
viewers who
you had
don't-
the photo at the bottom of the article. We all knew it was a wild card when we originally said it. Okay, he was mainly in there for my 15 thing, but now when I look at the wingers, you've literally got in our back three that I've selected 4 15s. They're in my back 7. There's 4 15s in there now because Stockdale's basically one. Liam Williams is Hogg and Daly.
So
It's like honestly,
who do you put in?
talking about systems, and then I want to take 5 15s with me. What am I chatting? Yeah, Anscombe's gone. Anscombe's gone. Not to mention he's just injured, isn't he?
He's a
Are you
Joey.
still going Ford and Farrells, and then that takes up 2 10s, or are you taking Farrells at 12 now?
No, I'm keeping Farrell as a 10. I'm taking Finn Russell.
There we go.
Over Sexton?
Yeah.
Would you not consider Sexton 10 then take Farrells at 12?
Potentially, but I need to see.
I can honestly, I can see Gats playing that first test. I can see him going Sexton 10, Farrell 12. In terms of experience and like
that's what you want in a first game.
It is. It's. I can really see him. That's the starting 10.
Johnny Sexton, man, he just goes nowhere. Ireland won the slam, and he's getting Sexton will go, and it'll be great.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the thing.
Yeah,
Ireland are gonna win the slam somehow, and
But Ireland have France and England at home, so
that's it. This
they've
is
got
the
the
cycle where
fixtures.
you win the slam. I'm telling you.
It's the cycle that you get on a Lions tour as well.
Yeah. Okay. I think you've convinced me. I think Johnny Sexton goes as a 10, and I think I switch Farrell to a 12, and then I take Finn Russell. So
And
my
then
3 10s
do
are
you
Finn
take
Russell,
out? You
George
take
Ford, and Johnny Sexton.
And then who you taking out of Bundiaki, Sam Johnson, Manu Tuolangi, Jonathan Davis, Guy Ringers, Henry Slade? I think.
Surely Sam Johnson's got to go.
Yeah,
Sam
Johnson's
Johnson,
done much.
He was your wild card pick, Telfer.
He
You had
was.
so much hope for him. Like
I really liked him. I really.
Has he
still
been
like
cursed
him.
by injury a bit, or is he just kind of?
Just got a bit quiet.
Yeah, Sam. Apologies, lad. Out you come.
Shame that. And then back freeze. Johnny May, Anthony Watson, Elliot Daly, Josh Adams, Stockdale, Williams, Hogg.
So I'm gonna go, and this might be controversial. I'm taking Liam Williams out, and I'm putting Van der Merwe in there.
what? But
Yeah.
not for Liam. You're gonna keep Josh Adams at the moment
Yeah,
over Liam Williams.
Why is no one talking about George North?
Oh yeah, forgot about him. He's gonna go. Like George North is gonna go. He's not in my back 3, but he'll go because Gats loves him and he's Welsh. At this rate, he's got 2 feet on the plane. He's Welsh and Gats loves him.
yeah.
What about
No,
Halfpenny? Is Halfpenny in the mix? Especially
I
we're
don't
talking
know.
about
Like, I
goal
don't know if we
kicking.
need
If we
him.
want to have the goal kick chat,
This is the thing.
Yeah.
But like Gats will probably take him too because he's Welsh and he loves him. This is the thing. But I think from
I think
want to see.
If I break it down, Johnny May, Anthony Watson, and Elliot Daly are certains for me. I know Elliot Daly's not been as solid as a 15, but I just think as like a squad selection, he literally goes anywhere.
Yep.
And
an interesting one about Elliot
and
Daly.
he can slot in at centre if needed, which might not be needed, but just in case.
An interesting one about Elliot Daly is when I was watching the England behind the scenes, the Rising Suns, whatever it's called now. A half time when things were going wrong, Eddie brought the senior players over, and there was a circle of them, and it was Itoje, Farrell, Ford, Mako Vunipola, and Elliot Daly. Those were his 5 players that were having a discussion, and he was giving them his information. So he is seen as integral to that England side now, not just a versatility man, as in a leader, which I find fascinating because I didn't think he'd be within that 5.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's a really interesting point. definitely Elliot Daly. I think he just goes. He's just such a quality. He's the kind of guy, you know, you want to talk. Well, we thought maybe not Harvey, but Liam Williams. That kind of like he's just class. You know, you're not going all for him. And like for me, Elliot Daly is just class. He's one of my favorite rugby players.
As well, big. We've been there before. We just need a big shoot last minute, 60 yards out, altitude.
That's it. Altitude.
Elliot
Like
Daly- that's
Elliot Daly
Elliot
should be
Daly's-
hitting them from his own 10-meter line.
Yeah. Going back to the selection though, and then so how many 15s were we originally saying we were going to take? 3, 2?
It was 2 out night
Remember what we
15s.
said? I
Yeah.
can't
So I think Daly slots in there, and then I think Stuart Hogg. You cannot argue with Stuart Hogg, obviously.
remember. Oh, it's just integral. You
Especially
wanna
with
talk-
what he's had since we last did the prediction.
Yeah,
Like
double. He done the double, like, and he was
Yeah.
integral to that double.
he's been on fire for Scotland as well.
He
so,
starts. He's. I know
Yeah.
you both were a bit worried about him in July, not thinking he's going to start, but I think he's
Yeah,
he's
I
15.
think he
So then-
starts.
So then it leaves you with Josh Adams, Jacob Stockdale, and Liam Williams. Part of me, I don't know why, because I rip into Jacob Stockdale all the time, but part of me just thinks, and I don't know why, but I just want to. I'm going against all logic and reasoning, but I'm taking him ahead of Liam Williams. I am. I know it sounds absolutely ridiculous, but I'm doing it.
That is
Gat-
that's
Gatlin
bold,
won't do that, but I know where he come from.
but it's
No.
bold. I like it. I like
So
it.
yeah, I'm doing that, and I'm doing it. All right, and I'm sticking with it. And Van der Merwe's going at the moment because we all love a Scotsman in there, even though he's not a Scotsman, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
We all love a blue jersey,
Scot.
man.
We love a
And
good
then-
South African Scot.
Yeah, a Van der Merwe, Scottish. All right,
He's from Edinburgh.
but yeah, I think he goes because he's just a brick built. Insert word there.
I know
and-
Jordan Armour's the forgotten man, but can he come back, or is that injury
No.
cost him?
No,
I
He should
don't
come
think
back.
he. Honestly, it's not one of those where like I feel
Hugo
like we.
Keenan?
Nah.
no.
Honestly, just get that clip
Come
up of him slicing the ball out 2 yards out when he's
Come
getting charged
on.
down from Anthony Watson,
He's
or
like
whoever
a
it was.
kid. He's just a wee kid.
Yeah, they've got time. The good thing about all them is you don't feel pressured to put them in because they've honestly got years and years ahead of them.
Yeah.
Michael
So-
Lowry?
That you don't want to take them out now and like kill off their confidence. You want to just ease them. Like there's no rush. There's no rush.
Zach, are you
No.
not taking Joe Simmons? Sorry, I forgot.
Nah, I don't think so. I don't think he's big enough of a wild card for Gats to chuck him in. If Joe Simmons takes over George Ford's place in the England squad, Joe Simmons goes over George Ford. But I don't know if that's likely in the foreseeable future. So based on that, based on purely England stuff, I'm gonna take George Ford. As much as I love Joe and Sam and Exeter and Rob Baxter, that's just the reality. For me, that's a reality pick rather than like my heart. It's a head pick, you know.
Well, I mean, no,
Go
it's
for it.
not actually bad. If only he's what I do me now and read
Go
it
on,
out.
Zach.
Sure.
You can fire away, mate.
I'll read them out. Your front row is Rory Sutherland, Cian Healy, Matt Govinapola, Jimmy George, Ken Owens, Luke Cowan-Dickey, Kyle Sinclair, Tag Furlong, and Xander Fagerson. I'm pretty sure we have the same front row, Telf.
There's nothing wrong with that apart from Cowan-Dickey, but I still think he goes. I think Ken Owens, Cowan-Dickey, and George. I don't think he'll take any of the Irish hookers, so they don't
What
take
about
any-
Rob, Telf? What about
I
the
don't
Ulster
think-
bias?
Right now, Rob doesn't go. I think I'm happy to stick with that. I think Gatlin can see the bigger picture. He took Jimmy George last time, and he was number 2 to Hartley at the time, and ended up starting him. And I think he
It's true,
knows.
it's true.
Cowan-Dickey is better than Herring and Keller. I know he doesn't start, but I think Gatlin will see past that, especially if Exeter go on a European run.
Again.
I'm sticking to that. Maybe Xander Ferguson needs to step it up a bit because, yeah.
You
know.
could argue
Sometimes-
Andrew Porter. Or is he not quite good enough for you?
I don't know.
I think Porter. That's a great shot. I think Porter goes over Ferguson at the minute.
Like he's had some good performances. I know we all just look at Tide Furlong and just go Tide.
Yeah.
But if you do want to look past your first team in the respective countries, then
Yeah,
Maybe Andrew
I'm
Porter
going
is in
Porter.
there.
Thanks for that. Porter for Ferguson.
there you go.
There you go. There you go.
There you go.
Fair. Second rows: Maratoji, James Allen, Alwyn Jones, Johnny Gray, Tick, 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 tick. Courtney Laws.
Sorry, apologies. What am I doing? I don't even like Laws. Um,
So who do you bring in? Do you bring in Mr. Henderson?
I bring in Joe Launchbury.
Yeah.
Good
fair.
respect.
To be honest,
Good
to be honest,
respect.
Joe Launchbury. I might even change. I think Joe Launchbury goes. He's just.
That's
He's,
literally just 4, man. It's amazing.
I
not
don't.
just
I
fo-
don't see him coming out of the England side now though.
But he was
Just
in the
Six
mix.
Nations.
He
it's
was in
locked and
the.
loaded.
It was there for Johnny Hill. He didn't really take it. Bit of ill
Yeah, well, he had a
discipline
couple.
and
He had that disciplinary. Well, he had that sin bin, didn't he? And he just looked a bit stuck in the mud a bit sometimes. Joe Launchbury's just smooth operator.
He is. I think just second rows, just mostly tick, tick, tick. Back rows: Tom Curry, Jimmy Ritchie, Sam Underhill, Hamish Watson, Justin Tipperick, CJ Stander, Billy Vanapola, Toby Faletau. You have the exact same back row as me as well.
I think we all had the same back row,
Yeah,
didn't we?
Yeah.
well, we're all in agreement on this. We kind of did it together. We didn't
Yeah,
disagree
it
at
was
all. Usually there is disagreements, but we all agreed with that as a collective.
So tough.
go-
Launch your argument on Caelan Doris, lad. Come on. We
I'm
wanna
gonna
hear it.
take
So who are you gonna take out?
I'm gonna take Watson out and put Keelan Doris in because CJ now is an established 6.
There you go.
Okay.
Richie's proven that he can play 7. Keeping Tipperick in, and Tipperick still starts for me, 100%.
Ooh.
Serious?
Yeah,
Tipperick starts.
I know the Italy game, but he's really good against Italy, like really good. Him and Faletau were both, for me, put themselves on. I think he could do what Warburton said and have a
Yeah, I was
Vinapola
gonna
8,
say.
Faletau 6, Tipperick 7 scenario, Keelan Doris off the bench.
No Curry or Underhill.
Kieran Underhill obviously go, but starting is, I don't know. It's Faletau. You don't understand Faletau's relationship with Gatland is, but based on my own picks, obviously Curry still goes. I'd love to see Curry start. Probably will start, but I'm just trying to play devil advocate a bit. But in terms of changes, yeah, Watson out and Doris in. Just trying to think anyone else. Scotland really aren't. They're struggling to find a number 8.
What about ultimate wildcard of Dan Levy? Does he come back and does he nick it?
That would be insane if he did.
That would
think he
be
just-
unbelievable.
At that point, he has to start. Like,
I look at
sheer
those.
audacity.
I look at those though, and if he does start in the Six Nations, let me just look. Actually, is
Well, forget about one man.
or can you just check if Levy's in the squad for the Montpellier game? I know the teams aren't.
For me, we're forgetting about one man, Peter Romani.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think
kept
just
saying Peter Manny, but when I look at these, when
you
I
look at the level that's in
passion,
there.
you forget about the passion. For me, if I'm going into a third test decider, I want Peter O'Mahony at least on the bench because just the passion that he brings. You know that he is going to give 100 and 200, 300%. He's going to put his body on the line for his teammates, and that sometimes is far better.
he goes over
skill.
CJ at the minute.
Yeah, you know what? I think he might actually go ahead of CJ.
Big.
He's just.
Yeah,
That
I'm going Peter Manny ahead of CJ Stander, but I'm going Peter Manny and Doris as a collective. And then Faletau.
Just trying to get the team up now for you.
Richie still goes round the hill Curry. Yep. Picks
Yep.
itself, and don't be disrespecting Tipperick. He still starts. He's still world class. Deserves it as well.
Moving on then, or
In terms of
Nice.
scrum halves,
scrum halves: Thomas Williams, Ben Youngs, Connor Murray. What's our thoughts?
Thomas Williams out.
Yep.
Keep Youngs and Murray, and I'm gonna go Reese Webb.
Okay, that's big. It's big. I'll give you it though. I'll give you it.
And Reese Webb will end up starting.
Yeah, to be fair, if he goes, I feel like he'll start just because of the Gats effect. Gats loves him and he's Welsh. There you go. He's on the plane. Out halves.
Just
File
to
bigger.
run back. Dan Levy's on the bench.
So that's what I mean. He's starting to come back into the bigger games. Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep
Dan
watching
Levy's on
that
the
one.
bench.
keep watching that one, but he might run out of time. But yeah, I'm not taking Ben Earl yet. I'm taking still Omani goes ahead of Earl. I know you both threw in Earl, but I'm still going Pete ahead of Earl.
Fair enough.
But
Fair enough.
Okay.
there's just something about Peter Omani. I know he's a better player probably Ben Earl at the minute, but yeah, I'm still going Peter Omani in. I have
Your midweek captain, maybe.
Yep, you need midweek captains. Is a great shout. Ford, Farrell, Biggie. I'm going bigger. Oh, it's cats, man.
What does your heart want? You know.
I'm gonna take Farrell's at 12. I'm gonna dip out.
Yes. See, this is the thing.
We've
You
all
boys were
agreed with
chatting
Zach
about
by the end,
Farrell as
haven't we?
10. You know what? It just proves. You know,
I'm gonna take Farrell's at
What can I
10.
say?
Sam Johnson doesn't go, and then I'm gonna bring in Johnny Sexton,
Oh, no Finn Russell.
and then I'm gonna go forward. No, Finn Russell's gonna be like the Lions squad's announced in Sky Sports News. No Russell.
It's gonna be one of them.
And then that's obviously my centers are still the same then in terms of Aki, bringing in Farrell, Tuolangi, Jonathan Davis, Ringrose, Slade. Yeah, I'm keeping that all the same. Slade, we haven't really talked about Slade, but he definitely goes. Back three, I've got a few names for you that I want to throw out there. One of them is Simon Zebo.
Ooh.
Forgot about him.
Because you don't have to pick if you're playing, if it's Lions.
Yeah, you don't. But for me, there's something about Zebo, which is just like he's a phenomenal player, but just like you left the club. You know,
Yeah.
you left. You imagine if Simon Zebo was playing for Munster right now, Jacob Stockdale wouldn't even have a sniff of the 15 jersey.
Yeah.
And he just left. You know, I don't know. It's just for me it's different to Finn Russell because Finn Russell comes back to his country. Just I don't know. I don't know. For me,
I'm just saying it's an interesting one to monitor.
It is. No, 100%. No, 100%. I just don't know. I don't know.
And I'm going to bring in Jack Noel. I've watched a lot of
That is a quality
Exeter,
one.
and I'm going to bring in Jack Noel for
who?
Josh Adams.
Fair enough. I think because
What
he's
about
injured at the moment. Is he still injured? I know he was injured recently.
Yeah, he's injured, but he'll be back for Six Nations, hopefully.
What about Van der Merwe?
Van der Merwe's coming in for Stockdale.
Oh.
I'm gonna have to be real. I'm gonna have to be realistic. Hopefully, Jacob comes far. If Stockdale has an unbelievable game, we're just filming this right before Toulouse play Ulster. If Stockdale scores a hat trick tonight, we're re-recording this completely. But at the minute, yeah. In comes Jack Noel, because I was just watching that quarterfinal, semi-final, final in the European Cup. There's something about Jack Noel that he has to go. He just fights, and you need fighters in South Africa. And I think he might even sneak his way onto the starting lineup. And then I'm gonna go. Yeah, but I do think Josh Adams will still go because of the Gats effect. But for me, in comes Noel for Adams, and in comes the big man Van der Merwe for Stockdale, and then I'm keeping Williams and Hogg, Daly, Watson, and May. I guess the final thing then, boys, is the captain we said was Owen Farrell. Are we still going Owen Farrell's captain?
Yes. I think so. I think that Owen Farrell, he definitely starts, whether it's 10 or 12. I genuinely think it'll be Sexton 10, Farrell 12. I think Farrell he's a world-class leader. We talked about it, on the pod, the Autumn's Nations Cup kind of review. He's a world-class leader, and for me, him as the captain with your Wyn Jones, with your maybe Omahi, you never know, like players like that are alongside him. It's a class leadership set up in the squad.
Really
but I think he leads it.
That's why Peter Manny, I think, goes as well. Just to add to that, do you think about that little circle I talked about? Imagine a circle of Alwyn Jones, Pete O'Mahony, Johnny Sexton, Owen Farrell. Like literally, you have world-class legends of leaders all in one. Yeah,
all leading the same team.
Then you got people like Atoji and Ryan, future leaders.
Yeah.
Tom Curry.
Like it's a team of leaders. Like if there ever was.
I don't see leadership yet in Tom Curry. I don't.
Okay.
See him just as a really good player.
Yeah, I'm the same.
And
I do. I see him as a leader. I feel like he's always there. He's always in and around it. He always seems to be the first man to pat someone on the back.
don't know. In the interviews and stuff, he doesn't seem like.
I think he's a bit of a quiet, but I feel like he's
Yeah.
one of those guys who's got an alternate persona. I feel like when they step on that pitch, they just become this animal. I feel like Itoje's a bit like that as well, though.
So you're not going.
I know Itoje's quite outspoken in some regards, but he doesn't come across to me as quite a bullish person. Whereas when he steps on that pitch, he turns into an absolute animal, and I'd absolutely hate it if he wasn't in an England jersey, I'll be honest. So,
Would you put any other names in the hat there? Would you say Itoje's got who's
Yep.
the
100%. Itoje's in with a shout.
everyone
Um,
keeps saying it, and the media are going to keep pushing that. But it doesn't. I'm still not surprised if he just comes out and Alwyn Jones is his tour captain, and he calls it the tour captain, not the Test match captain.
yeah.
Yeah, you could totally see that. You could. Which, to be fair, I think it makes sense having Wyn Jones in your squad.
No, but
Yeah.
I might actually be audacious here and change my thinking. I might even go Alwyn Jones as tour captain. So he announces Alwyn Jones as the tour captain. Alwyn Jones is the captain. Everyone listens to Alwyn Jones in training. But Alwyn Jones doesn't start. He comes off the bench because he can trust Farrell to lead the ship until Alwyn
Yeah.
Jones comes on.
I think, to be honest, I think that's probably what happened. That's what Exeter have basically done. Joe Simmons in the European Cup and stuff like that. He was kind of the match day captain, and then your boy came off the bench.
Yandel.
Yeah, and came off the bench. So yeah, I think, to be honest, I'm probably good with that system. So yeah,
It
I
probably
think that'll
brings
take
out
the
the best in
pressure
a
off.
lot. So, yeah.
Take the pressure off Farrell just to concentrate on hitting those kicks at the end rather than having.
yeah,
It could work. It's a really great point, Tough. Honestly, that could really work.
fair play. Respect.
Gotta respect it. Gotta
Are you still
respect
going
it.
Farrell, Harvey? You still going Farrell?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Farrell. Just for the case of difference. But yeah.
Fair.
Wales need a big Six Nations, but we'll be back. We'll be back after the Six Nations. We'll be back previewing, reviewing, and I don't think it'll change much, but hopefully we'll have one more wild card in there. I feel the wild cards are starting to develop, and there could be another one out of nowhere.
Who knows?
Cool.
A
We'll
few
find out
names weren't
tonight.
even mentioned there before. We'd laugh at names, but thanks again, boys, and
you know.
Mike Laurie. Enjoy the rugby, the football. Enjoy your Christmas, and we'll catch you in the new year. Cheers, boys.
Merry Christmas.
Cheers. Ciao.